Mr. Carter, please. This is Ellen. I want to see you.
Well, of course, dear. You know I'm always glad to see you. We've been apart too long. Oh, Ellen, that's not true. You know that I love you.
You've got to stop hounding me. Watching every move I make. I don't want any more of your lies.
Ellen, dear, you're not yourself. Now, please come home and let me take care of you.
No, I'm never coming back. But I'm going to kill you.
You never know what new brand of trouble a city of 4 million people is going to give you. I was coming off duty and the Carter case was breaking 6 miles away. My name is Frank Ballinger, Detective Lieutenant, M Squad, a special detail of the Chicago Police.
Is Captain Gray here? Where's Captain Gray? I've got to talk to the captain.
I'm sorry, the captain's gone home.
Where can I locate him?
Well, we don't give out his personal number.
Look, we're friends. He knows me. He'll help me.
As a matter of fact, he's visiting some friends up in Lake Forest, so I wouldn't know how to get in touch with him.
We've got to find her. I don't want this in the papers.
Won't you come in and sit down, please? Now, who do you want found?
Ellen. That's my daughter. She's not well. I'm Arthur Cotter.
Yes, I know. I'm Lieutenant Ballinger. How do you do?
Hello, Lieutenant. I've heard the captain mention your name.
Well, how can I help you? What's happened to your daughter?
Well, I didn't want to go to the police, but I have to now. This thing that I've been dreading has happened. It's her mind. She called me earlier tonight. Said she was going to kill me. And about 15 minutes ago, she put a bullet through my front window and rode down the street in her car. She has the idea that all people are against her. I've taken her to doctors, but she won't stay with them.
Then shouldn't she be in a hospital or something?
Believe me, Lieutenant, I didn't know it was this serious. Nobody did.
I gather, then, that she doesn't live at home.
No, she has her own apartment, her own money.
Then why don't we go over to your daughter's place?
We've got to find her, Lieutenant, because she needs care and treatment.
Certainly. Would you mind giving the officer a description of your daughter, weight, height, coloring, and also the kind of car she drives in the year? I proceeded on the basis that it was a dangerous case and put out a confidential 1013, 1015, all points. Woman with a gun, a demented person. If what her father said was true, the girl had to be found quickly. Then I followed Arthur Carter's car across town to his daughter's bachelor apartment. In her state of mind, she might have gone there or anywhere.
Well, she isn't in there. I guess she hasn't come back. Sometimes she comes through the kitchen entrance.
Well, I've already checked that door. It was locked from the inside.
Look, Lieutenant, what are we going to do?
We'll just keep on looking and hope that we find her soon. An empty .38 caliber cartridge box. You say that she has plenty of money?
Yes, she could go to a hotel.
Well, let's hope that she does do that, because we've got those covered. Why does she think that you're persecuting her?
I'll never know.
I mean, a little old family feud or something?
Oh, no, we were a happy family, I thought. My wife died a couple of years ago, and Ellen took that very hard.
Well, when did you first start to notice the symptoms?
I can't be sure, but about 6 months ago, I noticed how Ellen was talking about her old friends. I mean, as if they were enemies. Could have been going on a long time, and then she started talking about a group of people. She referred to them as they.
They?
She said they were planning to hurt her.
Imaginary persecution, huh?
I'm afraid so. We know that some of these people don't even exist.
Well, what kind of medical, or I should say, psychiatric advice does she have?
Well, I persuaded Ellen to see Dr. Needley. She's a psychiatrist. Ellen only paid her a couple of visits and then said that she could handle her own problems. That's when she began to resent me. Still, she came to dinner once a week. Everything was on a friendly basis. That's why this phone call was so sudden, such a complete surprise.
I certainly understand. Well, has she been to any other doctors that you know of?
I don't think so. She never mentioned any.
What about him?
Lieutenant, she wouldn't see one of those quacks.
Oh. She took the trouble of saving the clipping. Well, she's also got the address underlined. Well, I guess we can't do any good here. I'll phone M Squad and have him watch the house in case she turns up here, and then tomorrow I'll go down and see Dr. Needley. We had to go to the press for help, and the papers carried the news that Ellen Carter was missing. Nothing more. And I went to see Dr. Needley.
I didn't get very far with Ellen. She was antagonistic and stopped coming.
Well, doctor, if you don't mind me asking, just how far did you get?
Oh, I could see that she was a disturbed personality. Enough so that I suggested a hospital treatment. That frightened her. She said I was trying to have her put away. But from other things she said, I think that someone else was advising her.
Doctor, do you, believe in playing hunches?
Well, once in a while. Jonas Warman, counselor in emotional problems.
Did you ever hear of him?
No. Oh, but let me look. I have our association's complaint file here. Mental illness is the nation's #1 health problem, Mr. Ballinger. We can't tolerate quacks who keep sick people from seeing doctors who could help them.
Do you know that there's about 25,000 of these quacks in the country?
Oh, yes, they have no training. They can't spot mental disorders. They let sick people get sicker.
You know, the state medical board tells me it's impossible to get a conviction unless he's made a diagnosis or money has changed hands.
Money has changed hands with a witness.
And what are some of the things you've got against Warman there?
Nothing much to go on. He's made diagnoses. He's probably prescribed drugs, but we have no corroboration. Only the victim's words.
You know, I found this clipping in Ellen's apartment. Did you read this part of it? A healthy mind cures
all ailments. Why, I remember she used that phrase several times.
I think I'll have a talk with Jonas Warman.
Oh, he must be smart. He's been operating a long time.
But even the smartest of crooks make a mistake, huh? All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Things were beginning to add up. A sick girl saves an advertisement of a possible quack. Why? I found Warman's office in an old building off LaSalle Street. I'd like to see Dr. Warmer, please.
Do you have an appointment with Mr. Warman?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry, you'll have to write for one.
Well, one of his clients recommended me. A Miss Ellen Carter.
I don't know her.
Well, Mr. Warman does. You see, I'm a friend of the family's, and I'd really like to see him.
Will you excuse me?
Certainly.
Mr. Warman will see you.
Thank you.
How can I help you, Mr.
Ballinger. Well, I'm a friend of Arthur Carter's, and, well, there's been some talk that his daughter's come to you for consultation.
Oh, the missing girl, yes. I read about it this morning.
Is she one of your patients?
I don't have patients. They are for doctors. I'm a listener. My clients unburden themselves to me talk out their problems. I do not treat illnesses of any kind.
Well, then you don't have any medical degrees.
You don't need them to talk horse sense to people.
You charge him a fee for this?
Certainly. I render a service, my advice and guidance. You are a police officer, aren't you? Well, I can't think of a family I don't know sending someone to see me about a girl I don't know. Excuse me. Yes, Miss Dodd. No, I can't speak to him now. No, I don't want him to come here. All right, I'll talk to him. Mr. Warman speaking.
Oh, please, I've got to talk to you. It's terribly important. Something happened. I didn't follow your advice.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm engaged now. No, we mustn't discuss symptoms over the telephone. Well, I can do nothing for you.
Oh, please. Please, I'm so mixed up. And you're the only one who ever really helped me. I'll make an extra payment.
I'm not interested in that. Really, your problem isn't in my field. Yes, I know I'm sorry, but I must hang up now. Goodbye. Poor fellow. He's a medical case, not for me.
What about Ellen Carter?
Oh, yes. Well, Mr. Ballinger, I'm afraid you've been misinformed. I don't know her.
She knows you.
I'm not in the habit of making misstatements.
Ellen Carter threw a shot through her father's window last night. Now, if you have any information to her whereabouts, I want to know.
How many times must I tell you I
You don't know the girl, huh?
I must ask you to leave.
Thank you very much for your cooperation, Mr. Warman. I knew Warman was lying about Ellen. The girl's name had meant something to the receptionist, and somehow he'd gotten her to forget it.
Oh, Ellen, hello.
Can you help me?
Well, of course. Isn't my nurse outside?
No. No one. Doctor, I feel so ill. My mind plays such horrible tricks on me. It's like a nightmare.
Sit down and tell me.
No, I just want something, some way to make me feel well right now.
Well, I'm afraid we can't work that fast. Have you been seeing another doctor?
No, just someone else. He doesn't have time for me anymore.
Well, I do. We can put you someplace where you'll have a nice long rest.
Put me where? You're not going to put me anywhere.
Put that gun down, Ellen.
No. I should have known. You've been working for them all along. Just like my father. Well, you won't anymore.
Well, that's about all there is to it, Sergeant. Can't keep it out of the papers now. Yeah, you better get out of general on the girl. Right. The doctor stands a fair chance. They got a statement from her just before they took her into the operating room.
There's no doubt it was Arthur Carter's girl.
None.
You know, I watched that kid grow up.
And now she's psychotic. Delusions of persecution. Dr. Neely said it could have been prevented if caught in time.
Frank, we've got to find her.
Yeah, and the quack that allowed her to get this way.
Bye.
I think that there's some guy so ignorant of mental illness that he couldn't even spot the symptoms. And now she's over the borderline.
We don't know anything about any quacks.
Yes, we do. Ellen admitted to Dr. Needley that you've been seeing this guy, but now he's dropped her. She's too dangerous.
Poor kid.
Wouldn't even send her to see a doctor, just turned her loose in the city. We searched for Ellen Carter. She probably changed her name to stay in some hotel. Probably bought new clothes, too. And we began a checkout on Jonas Warman, quietly and with expert investigators.
Hi, Frank. How'd the bank rundown go?
Not so good. She's got 2 checking accounts, one personal and one business, but no checks made out payable to Jonas Warman.
Oh, by the way, your hospital call. Dr. Needley's doing as well as can be expected.
You know, I really don't blame Ellen for what she did. It's probably that knucklehead she's been going to.
You're taking this quack angle real big, aren't you?
There's an awful lot of people in their hands. They read those ads, they get the fast talk. Yeah, I'm taking the quack angle big.
You're sold on this Jonas Warman being wrong.
Something about his attitude. You know, I'd like you to put a man on his phone, and then if he's prescribing medicine or giving treatments, we can nail him for practicing without a license.
Frank, you can't bug anybody's phone.
This guy isn't anybody. The suspicions of a crime, all I need is evidence. The police intelligence unit gave us a setup in the cellar of Warman's building. His phone calls were routine appointments and cancellations. I had an idea he suspected surveillance and was lying low. Then he got a call from a girl who had phoned several times before.
You mustn't call here. I've asked you not to annoy me.
Oh, please, don't do this to me. I have so much to talk over. I didn't mean to shoot her.
It's Ellen Carter.
Why don't you call me this evening? Perhaps we can talk then. I'm engaged now.
You sound like one of them now. The ones who've turned against me. Taken away all my friends. They should be punished.
Now, look, you mustn't talk like that. It upsets you. I am your friend. Call me later this evening, huh? I really must hang up now. Goodbye.
He hung up on her. And he knows her mental state. Yeah. He treated her just the way he did that man the other day in the office. Or was it a man? Oh, I don't know. It's slim. They didn't mention any names. I think I'll go over and have a talk with him. Who knows? He might break.
Yes? Lieutenant Ballinger? Well, I suppose I've got to see him. Send him in. Now what is it?
I want some straight answers from you. You've been in contact with the Carter girl.
You are mistaken.
Where is she?
Now, please, why do you think I'm
You were just
hiding
talking
from-
to her on the telephone.
Oh, that girl, huh? You've been listening. If that was Ellen Carter, you know her better than I do.
She said something about not wanting to shoot some woman.
Well, I hear similar statements all the time.
You told her to call you later?
Well, it puts them off. They forget. Now, are you going to arrest me or let me get back to my work?
Warman had me. I couldn't prove the girl on the phone was Ellen. We went out hunting for her, and I hunted for an angle on Warman. My best bet was as receptionist if I could get a rise out of her. One night I followed her from one bar to another. No thanks. Hi.
All right. When are you going to arrest me?
Arrest you?
I know you're a policeman.
But, why should I want to arrest you?
Because it's on your mind. Hounding Mr. Warman.
Yeah, but I think you're nice. You know, you could help me if you wanted to.
But how could I help you?
Ellen Carter.
I don't know the name.
She's sick, real sick. A couple of days ago, she tried to kill the doctor.
You're trying to get me to say that Mr. Warman doesn't know his business. I can't do that. You see, he's my husband.
Swell. Warman's receptionist was another dead end. I couldn't tie Ellen to him with any conclusive evidence or witnesses. And now when I phoned M-Squad, I learned that he'd given our men the slip. He'd gone out to dinner and they'd lost him. And our tap on his phone had been closed for the night.
Hello? Oh, now look, I've asked you not to call here.
Well, you've got to tell the police why I shot her. You know she was my enemy.
The police are making trouble for me because you didn't take my advice and go out of town for arrest. Now, you must do that at once, or they'll put me in prison.
Put you in prison? Oh, no. Oh, no, you've been so kind to me. I know which policeman you mean. I won't let him hurt you.
No, look, Ellen. Ellen, Ellen, are you there?
What are you crowing about?
I think this doesn't. You know, our bank surge in town didn't pay off, but Ellen Carter had another account out of Winnetka. And here are 5 checks made payable to Jonas Warman, summing a total of $2,000, huh? And he didn't know her?
Well, what are you going to charge him with?
Well, we could get him for a bunco grand theft. That is if we had a witness to the fact that he received this money for giving diagnosis or treatment.
Nah, not this guy, Frank. He's too smart.
Yeah. Well, we could get him for obstructing a police investigation.
Ah, it's just a misdemeanor. It's only 30 to 90 days.
Yeah, but some bad publicity might give some of Warman's victims, you know, enough courage to come forward and talk, huh?
Well, it might help. Charlie, in my office.
I'm looking for Lieutenant Ballinger.
Well, what can I do for you, Miss Carter?
Yes, of course you'd know me. Because they sent you after me.
They?
Oh, don't pretend you don't know who they are. You're one of them. But it's all over now. For you. I won't be hounded this way.
Your father just wants to put you somewhere where you get plenty of rest.
He wants to put me where they can get me.
Why do you think I'm one of them?
Because you are. Jonas says you are.
Jonas.
Mr. Warman?
I don't think he'd say that about me.
He did. Oh, at first he tried to make me believe that they were going to hurt me. He gave me medicine to make me forget them. It made me sleep and forget all my troubles. Maybe you're the one who made him stop seeing me. He told me all about you tonight.
Well, what could he tell you? I've done nothing to hurt you.
You frightened him. He said on the phone that you were going to make trouble for him over me.
No, we were merely looking for you. We just wanted to help you.
No, you're not. If you're one of them, and Jonas says you are.
Look, why don't you give me that gun before somebody gets hurt? Please give it to me. Oh, Captain, don't do that.
Hey, what's going on?
Did you get her some water?
In my office, Charlie.
Ellen told us plenty, but we won't be able to use it in court. But maybe we can use it to get Mormon off balance, huh? Oh, Eddie. Any word from the boys with Mormon? Yeah, well, I want to know where he is.
Who's there? You have a search warrant to break in
Don't
here?
need one in a felony case.
Felony? Don't be ridiculous.
You weren't thinking of leaving town, were you?
Ellen Carter came to see me this evening.
With a gun.
I told you I don't know that girl, and she doesn't know me.
I didn't think you'd send a girl with a gun to see me.
You're out of your mind.
We've got it on tape.
She names you.
You know as well as I do that tape wouldn't be admissible in court.
You had that all figured out, didn't you?
But you accepted money from her.
Money? She never paid me a cent.
Are you positive?
Well, where are your witnesses to prove it? Why do you believe a mental case?
Take a look at this.
$2,000 for a girl you don't know and never saw? Come on, let's have some answers.
One little case goes wrong, just one, and you want to hang me. I don't know how it happened. I treated her for depression, that was all.
And you still accepted her money.
And I made a terrible mistake.
This is not a misdemeanor, it's bunco grand theft.
That's a felony, punishable by 1 to 5. And when you get out, you can have a record.
Now, wait, do I have to wear these?
Yes, you have to wear them.
Warman got the book. Ellen is now in an institution receiving proper treatment, and her father feels that there is hope for her. The police in my town are fully aware of their responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves, the sick, the worried, and the troubled. And we cooperate with the medical profession, the many worthy and qualified doctors and psychologists who are devoting their careers to the curing of mental illness.
Be sure to tune in again next week for another exciting story from the files of M Squad.